What's up, guys? It's your boy Silent Z here, and I know I haven't posted in a month, but trust me, I have something cooking up that you guys are really going to enjoy. I did not return after a month later just to talk about the situation, but I do think that this needs to be addressed and to give my overall thoughts on it. And this is a person who has done this. So if you don't know what's going on in Marvel Rivals right now, I know season 2 has come out. I know Emma Frost, mommy, sorry,
Huh?
um, is out, and I did play her, and I do think that she's probably one of my favorite characters to play in this game for reasons. But I guess in terms of the gameplay, I think she is a mix between Doctor Strange and the Thing, and especially you get to grab divers such as like Venom, Spider Man, Iron Fist, Captain America. It's so satisfying when you land it and you just kick them to the wall and it does like twice the damage. I like that. I really like that. I'm not gonna really do a how to tutorial on her because I'm sure thousands of other people have done it already, and you can basically check those videos out. But lately, she's really not that hard to master. I think she's like what, at least a 2, maybe 1 to 3 star rating. She's kind of like similar to like Captain America, not Captain America, but like essentially like a mix between Doctor Strange, Magneto, and I guess you could say Scarlet Witch to some extent based on her melee, if you can call it that. But we're not going to be talking about Emma Frost today, unfortunately, because what we really are going to be talking about is there seems to be what is happening is a support strike. And if you don't know what's going on, basically Necros, if you don't know who Necros is, basically he's like one of the most popular streamers who's playing Marvel Rivals, and mostly people recognize him for his Spider-Man clips. And let me say this out front. I love Spider-Man. I love him. He's my favorite superhero of all time, but I want to cuss so bad. But every single time when I see a Spider-Man, even a Lord Spider-Man on the other team, I already know we're going to lose. And even in my team, there is a chance that when it comes to a Lord Spider-Man, they're either going to be 50% actually really good or actually dog crap. It's 50-50 with Lord Spider-Mans, and mostly the Lord Spider-Mans I get are in the other side. They're dog crap. And that's not to say that every Spider-Man is bad, but they function the same way. They just really do. And I have yet to get like an actual expert Spider-Man player in my team if I can ever get one, because like again, it's kind of hard to play ranked in Marvel Rivals right now. I mean, recently, just not too long ago, I just got back to Diamond 3, and my last season ranking was Grandmaster 3, so I'm trying to get back there. But may I say, the DPSs in this season, I feel like they're more aggressive now that they were in like season 1.5 and season 1. And I get it, the healers were very, very powerful back in season 0, and they had to tone them down a bit. And I think this is pretty much where the issue with me comes in. And I said this before and I'll say it again. You cannot beat a team, you cannot beat the opposite team without your healers. It is impossible. You will never, ever see a game where you have no healers in your team and you come out on top. It's just not going to happen. And trust me, and that's coming from a person who used strategists. I have to flicks on all these other different roles because nobody in my team is going to do that. Maybe one person will, but it's like I have to do everything. I have to be the one to play as Jeff. I have to be the one to play as Invisible Woman. I have to be able to use Mantis or Rocket. I haven't really used Loki that much because again, I'm still trying to get the hang of him. He's not hard. It's just that his positioning is a little tricky to me, no pun intended. But you can kind of see where I'm coming from. And the problem when it comes to support players is that in the back of their mind, they know either one, a magic is coming after them, two, a Black Panther is basically going to 1, 2, 3, 4 tremble before Bast, kill them before you even actually have a chance to turn around to see why your healer died, or three, a Spider-Man where they can just do 1, 2, 3, zip, boom, boom, and then with the Venom synergy, blah, 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 and then go back and then literally zip away. It's hard to be a strategist player, and that's coming from me. Every single time when I am healing somebody, I have to look at my surroundings and observe, like, okay, I know either a Black Panther, a Spider-Man, an Iron Fist, or any other DPS player. Like, I guess for the DPS players, when it comes to like Star Lord and Iron Man and maybe Namor to some extent, they're pretty easy to deal with, mostly for the most part, unless if they have like really good flanking. But the problem about what this is, this statement, what Necros said, is that he hates supports because they don't do anything and they're boosted. Let me ask you a question, Necros. He's not going to watch this video, but let me ask you a question to you Necros fans. Has Necros ever played a healer before? Has he ever played a strategist? Has he stopped becoming a Spider-Man one-trick pony? Great. I can see you basically zipping out of everybody, zipping out of a healer outside of the map. Great. I've seen that thousands of times. It's gotten old. I don't need to see a Spider-Man clip every single time. Like, yeah, sure, they're pretty awesome. And the tech and basically the timing and the preciseness of their, their abilities, incredible. 10 out of 10. You want a cookie? Here you go. But that's not what I'm here for. That's not what I came to this game for. I didn't come to the game just to play as Spider-Man, just to get ambushed by the backline. That's not my point. I don't want to play games where I'm just going to keep abusing the same mechanic over and over again, because there's no fun in that. Yes, maybe at least for the first day or so, yeah. But eventually it gets boring once in a while and you actually want to make progress in your game. So essentially what is going on right now is that you have Necros saying all this, and then that caused like some type of support strike going on, where you barely see any good strategists nowadays, and some of the strategists that are in your game, either one, they don't heal you correctly, or two, they just flat out ignore you, and they'll just try to do everything they can to make sure that they will try their very best to be as annoying as possible. And I say to myself this, I think there is some justifiability in that. There's some justable aspects of it. Because again, as a person who has played a healer, I've used Mantis, I've used Invisible Woman, I've used Rocket. I barely use Cloak and Dagger, but not in type of way. Like, again, I've seen a lot more Cloak and Daggers, but you can kind of see where I'm coming from. Is that sometimes the strategists are the biggest importance of the match. You will not win a match if your support healers do not heal you. It's not gonna happen. I swear to you, I've said this so many times. And it just seems like these people have an IQ of a goddamn squirrel. You can't. It's impossible. And then you'll literally have some people blaming those said supports because they're not healing them, when you're the one who's overextending, only targeting one person, staggering, and literally throwing. That's literally what you're doing. You're using all these different characters and you're getting no results. Do I throw sometimes in games? Yes, but not intentionally. Sometimes I have to figure out what type of character I want to use. Do I want to use a Winter Soldier, or Star-Lord, or a Thing, or an Emma Frost, or essentially maybe Namor, maybe Mr. Fantastic? Like, those are the characters that I use, and trust me, I'm still going to use more. But that's where this whole problem relies in, is that the supports in this game are the biggest importance to make sure that your team wins. If you don't have that, then you are not going to win. Your team is not going to win. And then all of a sudden you start to get this backlash from your teammates because you are the one who's overextending the backline on the other side of the team without actually helping your teammates out. Hell, even Captain America's do this shit. Where, see, now I'm getting cussing because like I'm getting heated now, is that sometimes Captain Americas will just try to do everything they can to overextend. And then you can find like a good Captain America that can kind of like, beat the healers, and then they'll just go back to the team and think that nothing happened. But there will be some aspects, like literally there's like a game not too long ago, like literally probably like a few hours as of me recording this video, like a few hours ago, there was a Captain America who was basically ambushing my Cloak and Dagger and an Invisible Woman, and the Invisible Woman just like stood there and just took heals with Dagger while Captain America was trying to like punch her to death, and it's not working. So much so that I have to use Winter Soldier just to slow him down using his grapple hook. And I get it that Winter Soldier is nerfed, but he's still pretty good. But that's what I'm trying to say here, is that the supports in this game do matter. And it's funny and this is pretty funny coming from Necros, considering that he is a Spider-Man one trick. He has not used any other character, maybe Iron Fist, because I did saw another clip of him using Iron Fist.
Just ping where he is. Oh, he's here. Okay, don't worry about it.
I would agree, but
Surely I don't lose this, bro. Oh my fucking god.
But you can kind of see he mostly uses DPS players for the most part, and he only relies on 2 characters, maybe 3 max. I have yet to see him use like a Thing, a Magneto, a Strange, a Emma Frost, with the exception of the early access, but that's different. I have yet to see him like play these other characters. I have yet to see him play as that. And I hate it that we have this one person that influences so much things to so many people, considering that it's not their fault. The supports are not their fault. I can tell in a match, I can tell that if it's a bad healer or a good healer. Most of the healers that I get in games, even if I do lose, are pretty much decent to good healers. I can tell when there's one that's bad, and I'll report them for that. And I shouldn't have to, and I hate reporting players in this game, but I'm telling you, it's like an instinct that I have. I hate to avoid them as teammates, and I hate to, report these players, but you can kind of tell if it's a bad healer or a good healer. And most of the times that when I'm playing the game, I always get at least good healers for the most part. But to say that supports are boosted is downright insane, because hell, I don't even have any lords on any strategist. I have 0 lords, and yet I can play 75% better than the other guys who are using them. But what I'm trying to say is that the supports in this game matter 100%. They're not boosted, because if they were, then why all of a sudden there's more Venoms, there's more Spider-Mans, there's more Iron Fists? Why do you think there's so many DPS players now? Why do you think there's so many Squirrel Girls now? Why do you think there's so many Black Panthers now? Why do you think there's so many Magic players now? Why do you think there's so many Hawkeye players? Well, actually, no. There's not that much of Hawkeye players. The only time I met a Hawkeye player was like...
Sonic boom! Holy majority, dude.
Actually, I don't know.
In Grandmaster? In Grandmaster?
I don't
That's
know.
it! Oh my god! Are you trolling?
Anyway, but you can kind of see where I'm getting at. Is this supports in this game are not boosted, because you can literally do everything in your power to heal your teammates, but all it takes is one combo from any diver or a Vanguard tank, and they're gone, just like that. So that's essentially what I really wanted to talk about. I'm sorry this turned into another rant video. Trust me, I'm gonna go back into some gameplay videos. It's just that, college has been, kind of there, but my semester is almost over, so you're gonna be seeing a lot of content very soon. I will, however, probably try to do a how-to on Ultron. Maybe. And you can kind of see how much I really want to use that character a lot, because I've read his kit and sounds pretty interesting, I would say. But that's about it. And again, don't let streamers or anybody else's opinions influence in how you play. Please don't, because they shouldn't be the ones who are talking, considering that Necros is literally a DPS player. I'm not to say that Necros is completely wrong. Like, yeah, sure, there'll be some healers who don't give a crap about the other teammate, but still, for the most part, they're literally trying to do their best to keep their players alive and to make sure that they actually push. Because if you don't have your supports, you are not going to be pushing. It's just not going to happen. Maybe if one is like still alive, maybe. But if none of them are there, you're toast. It's over. Wave the white flag. It's over. But what do I know? I guess I'm some Marvel Rivals player that barely plays this game. And that's to say that I don't care about the game. It's just sometimes I don't have time and I don't want to stress myself out playing the game. But you know, what do I know about being the number one Spider-Man in the world? What do I know about that? That's Necros thing, but you can kind of see where I'm coming from. But if some advice that I want to give you guys is, please, if you watch this video, don't let somebody else's opinion influence you to play better, because they shouldn't have the right to be talking. And hell, maybe I shouldn't have the right to talk about you. But again, as a person who has played strategist characters, I understand the struggle. I've been there. I had to do it in situations where no one else could, and we won the game. So please, I'm not saying you should take my advice, but at least don't let other people opinions influence on how you play. Don't ever do that. Because again, they should not be talking, and they're the ones who are kind of just making things worse in the process. But what do I know? Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that it's literally just the same rant video that I did a month ago, but I promise you I will be getting back into some actual Marvel Rivals gameplay and maybe some how-tos, and probably just, you know, looking at clips. Again, we're going to do a lot this summer. And plus, there is a good reason why I've been gone for at least a good month or so. But you probably will not hear about that until, like, next month. And as of me recording this video, it's on the 24th, so give it like 2 more weeks. But anyway, guys, that's it. That's all I gotta say. Like, share, and turn on those notifications so you won't miss out on any future videos. This is your boy Silent Z, and I'll catch you later.